and welcome to The Journey is Real. I'm CJ Peterson, and today's guest is going to be Jacob Craig, and we titled his podcast, Helping Others with Their Self-Improvement Journey. Thank you for coming on today, Craig.
Well, thank you, CJ. It's okay. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate you having me on here.
Even on here.
It's okay. You can call me by the last name.
That's Sorry about that. Well, Jacob, you have a really unique passion. Would you please share with those listening, kind of tell them a little bit more about it and what it means by helping others with the self-improvement journey?
Sure. So it's tough to just say a little bit. Like it's a very important topic. There's a lot to cover. So self-improvement to me is really, working on yourself day in, day out and trying to, figure out where you need improvement, whether it's in your relationships, your career, your lifestyle, really all areas of your life, trying to figure out, like I said, where you need most improvement and working on that every day. So I've always, for the past 6-7 years, I've really been studying different people, like motivational speakers is where it started. And then it led me into health and fitness because I was in a space where, coming like halfway through college, I was realizing, I don't have the same metabolism as I did when I was in high school or middle school.
It gets worse when it gets older.
Yeah. So I, once I gained enough weight, I was like, man, I gotta do something about this. So, I was working out a little bit and I was, running a good amount. I was in the gym a good amount and I didn't think my diet was that bad. So I was like, you know what, I really need to figure this out. So I was listening to somebody who motivates me is Jocko Willink. He has his podcast, the Jocko Podcast, where he discusses military history and books related to military history. But behind that is really, you learn the dedication that these people have to, protecting our country. And, that it's very motivating to hear, what they're willing to do and the discipline that people in the military have. So there's just a lot of motivation that comes with that. And he started talking about diet practices and things like that. So it really got me, looking into other podcasts that are health and fitness based. Mm-hmm. And it really helped me. I was able to find a diet and workout plan that worked for me. And now I can kind of, based on my goals, if I want to bulk up, I can figure out, okay, how much work or how I should adjust my diet and exercise plan to do that. And if I want to cut weight, then, I can flip a switch and, shouldn't say flip a switch because there's always an adjustment period because they're so drastically.
Mindset.
Yeah, adjust the mindset and, realize what it's going to take to get back down to that weight or to bulk up. And I'm always learning. There's always more to learn. There's so many different experts in the space, no matter where you look in self-improvement. If you're looking for something with mindset, if you're looking for something, directly related to health and fitness, or there's just so many experts to learn from. And I think podcasts, if you look now, it's insane how many people you can learn from, but it's really just not enough people, I don't feel like, have tapped into that. So I'm trying to, get people exposed through books as well, because, it's important that people realize how many resources there are out there and just how helpful it can be to, search out podcasts that suit their lifestyle and what they're looking to improve in their lives.
I mean, sometimes when you look at how many podcasts there are and how many books and stuff there are, it gets really overwhelming. Is there a tip or a trick to kind of narrow it down for somebody who's kind of got that mindset of, I need to change, but where do I start? There's this gigantic elephant in the room and it's like 100 podcasts, 300 books. It's like, where do you start?
Yeah, it can be very tough. I mean, the best advice I can give, and everybody's journey is different. What's going to work for them is different. So it's really, looking up, if you know what type of diet fits your style best. I don't think there's one perfect diet that's going to be perfect for everybody. But if you have a good idea of, the type of diet that you've done in the past that, you liked, that, you might want to try again. And rather than just using your own self-discipline and, looking at cookbooks, you could look up a podcast that's based on, a paleo diet or a keto diet, or, whatever has worked for you in the past that, you want to learn more on. It really helps to, have, they really are like coaches for you that you can reference, and, you can even talk to them sometimes and email them depending on how large they are, how much time they have, and how dedicated they are. But the amazing thing about these people that you find through podcasting, and that's really the main source. I mean, all the people that I study have, blogs, and they're so many other places than just podcasts, but podcasts are really where they, you can show how much, or you can see how much work they put in, and that they're really just trying to help as many people as possible with their programs and things like that. And you get to learn, not only, their tips and tricks, but you get to learn their background, how they know these things, and, why you should appreciate what they have to say. So
that's kind of what you do, though, is you kind of take your clients and connect them to the right podcast,
yeah.
give them directions and stuff. How do you do that? Say somebody comes to you and says, okay, I'm this age and I'm overweight, or I'm really dealing with depression or anxiety. How do you sort through trying to figure out what is the best match for your client?
Yep. So first of all, I started researching and writing heavily in certain areas just like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really just developing, and I want to get to know, before I start, referencing, suggesting people, I want to make sure I know enough about them, and, make sure I know about the person that I'm suggesting to, that it is going to be something that's going to help them. My best advice might be, try to, like I said earlier, maybe, a diet, maybe you can, look up the topic on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from, search the topic, and you'll likely find an expert in the space. And sometimes it takes finding a personality that clicks with you, or, somebody who you can tell just has that knowledge that you can learn from. So sometimes that's the best advice. But, a lot of times, if it is something health and fitness, I have, like I said, been studying on it for a few years now. And so my main way is through writing. I'm a new author. So my first book, and I'll show it if you're watching on video, it's called Inspiring Leaders in Health and Fitness. And so this was just recently published. And what this is, it's a series of biographies on 6 different experts, from nutritionists to strength and conditioning coaches to physical therapists. Sorry. And so, I start the book with, showing a quick background of these people. And then before every chapter, I have a portrait of that person. And I go into, their background, how they develop their platform that they have. And then I get into all the tips and tricks that I learned from studying them for months at a time. And they all have different expertise, whether it's sleep or, muscle building or diet. So you really get to learn, a great variety of different tips that can help improve your life. And it's not, the purpose isn't to read about all 6 and think they're all great, and that you can employ all the tips and tricks into your life. That's not even possible, because there's so much to go off of, and they actually conflict each other sometimes. So I try to capture that as well and write about the differences that they have and the difference of opinions. But a lot of times, like I said, they just cover so many different areas, so you get well versed in different areas. So
the goal is to kind of read the book and pick out certain nuggets from each.
Yep. And also, these people are still working day in, day out to help improve people's lives. So I reference all their podcasts, websites, things like that. So if people do find, 1 or 2 experts that they want to continue to follow, then they can do that as well. So that's mainly, how I.
Yeah, this is a bit of a unique passion. So how did this become your actual passion, though?
Like I said, like 7-8 years ago, I just really was like impressed by the people I was finding in the motivation space. And I didn't really think of a way to share it with people until I was heavily focused on specific people in the health and fitness space. When I saw just how many people there are in the self-improvement space, and they're all great to learn from. It's so easy to stick to one because they have so much content. You could focus just on that one person. And it also keeps me committed to keep learning, keep finding new people, and, learn more things myself. And I figured, if I write these things down, then it'll only help me remember, but maybe somebody will get something. If somebody can pick up the book and get as much value from it as I have, even if it's just one person, it's an amazing thing. And it's absolutely worth it to me. But also, like I said, it just helps me to learn to go back and actually write it out. Obviously you learn more by, reading it a second time and writing it down. And then, obviously putting it into practice is a great way as well.
Now you share this passion in a couple different ways. You have a book, which you've already talked to us about. You have a blog, and you also have a Facebook page that you kind of keep connecting with people on. Can you tell us about those? I mean, you've shared about the book, which is called what again?
Inspiring Leaders in Health and Fitness, Volume 1.
Okay, Inspiring Leaders in Health and Fitness. Tell us about the blog and also the Facebook page.
Okay, and if people want to find the book, the main place is through Amazon. I just have the ebook set up there as well as the print. So whether people want the ebook or the print, you can look it up on Amazon and it's there available.
I kind of am partial to the paperbacks only because you can actually highlight certain things. Because if you're pulling certain nuggets from certain groups, you can kind of highlight those and tab those pages as you go through.
Yeah, well, I think Kindle's improved where you can highlight and reference back. And you can leave notes where you want to leave notes. And I'm partial to having the print as well. I love having a print book that I can reference again and pick back up. And I'm really happy with the way the print came out. If you notice, and for people listening, it is a hardcover book. And I just really wanted the best way to present the book, because anybody can go on and get the ebook and take a look at it. And, the picture quality is going to be best there, obviously, but I really like the way the hardcover looks, and it's important to have color for those portraits. And I think it's the best way to portray the book. So like I said, if you want to spend a little and get the ebook or the hardcover, it just gives options, and they're both, in my opinion, great quality, whichever route you decide to go. So let me get into where else I share my content.
The blog?
So yep, my blog is 12 Paths. So that came from and it's a poorly named blog. What I wanted to do was choose 12 different experts. And my plan was, okay, I'm going to write a book that has 12 different experts and be done in a year. And it took a lot longer. It took, a year and a half of writing, because there's so much on these people. And then, add 6-8 months to get it published and to, finalize it and get it out there. So, and that was on 6 experts. So I wanted to get it out there before, it's way outdated and they've written, 2-3 more books and have so much more content to share. But I do plan on having a volume 2, which is going to be, the rest of those 12 experts in health and fitness. But the next one is actually going to be motivation and success, to give myself some variety. So I plan on doing 6 experts in motivation and success, just another side of self-improvement, and then go back and do the volume 2 of health and fitness and let people, absorb that. So my blog is where I share kind of what I'm doing personally and what changes I've made to my life and what's working. And sometimes I'll, have blog posts specifically on things like caffeine or water, and specific topics that are covered in the book. And I'll take a combination of what I've learned from different people. And some of them are not in the book, but some of them are just people that I've studied heavily on the side while I'm writing the book. So, I kind of have blog posts just focused on specific topics or what I'm going through. So people can kind of look at that and see, what I'm doing with that information, and maybe it'll help them as well. And I have things on goal setting and things like that as well, because, that's a lot of the questions that I get, and the most help I think I can give somebody, because I don't see myself as, an expert per se in any field yet. I'm obviously, like I said, just developing my knowledge on these things. So, but I
They're
am
kind of learning
very,
with you as you go.
yeah, but I'm very driven in what I'm doing. And I like to say that I am working hard at it. And so I need to constantly have goals in mind and be constantly working. And, I can't just put it in a book and have it out there. I need to obviously be working on my health and fitness, and it's a continuous journey for me. And we'll see where it goes. And it's, no, so yeah, I think it's good to have, my personal blog. It also gives me more experience writing as well. So yep, I have, the book, my blog. With my book, I have my book series website as well, where people can really find, a more professional website just for the book series itself. And as the book develops, or the books develop, it will continue to, and you can find, that's kind of my main branch to all my other websites as well. Or if people just want to find me and contact me, I always leave my personal email. If people want to contact me personally, they can. And I have links to, I do have a YouTube channel, a Twitter. And so those, I'll post every now and then, but I don't, post daily or nearly as much as I do on my blog or, yeah. So
on your Facebook page, because that's
yes.
where it allows you to connect with people on a more personal level, because
Yep.
the book is great. It gives you lots of information, and it kind of gives you like an overall, this is, who you might want to look into. These are the cool nuggets that you can pull out of it. The blog is more, this is how I'm applying those cool nuggets that I've learned. But the Facebook page allows you to connect with others on their level and help them specifically. Can you talk to us
Yep.
about your Facebook page?
Absolutely. So that's definitely where I am present most out of anywhere, especially recently. So if you want to find me, the absolute best place online is through my Facebook page, and then it would be my book series website, and then my blog behind that, just if you're looking for more information. But I'm present daily on my Facebook page. So I have my author page, Jacob Craig, which you can also just search Inspiring Leaders Collective, because that is, my book series website, inspiringleaderscollective.com, and that's the brand I've developed for the book series. And so if you search at Inspiring Leaders Collective, you can find me and you can follow. And I go live each and every morning, and I share my morning routine. And my morning routine, I was following a book, and again, I'll show it on video, but I'll let you know it's a book called The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. So it has 365 days worth of quote from a Stoic philosopher, and then I'll have a reflection on that quote. Mm-hmm. So each and every day I would, read that day's message, and then I would also have a list of my current goals that I have. And so I would, after reading that passage, also read my goals to myself, so they're always in my mind as well. And after doing that for about,
that kind of lets people take the journey not only with you, but you're showing them how to take the journey.
Right. And that's the whole purpose. So each morning for me, it's 6:30 to 7 a.m. on Eastern Standard Time. So I go live and do my morning routine with people, where I'll grab my quote from anywhere. So I was following that book for about a year and a half, and then I decided to take a little twist on it after, falling off the wagon on that. And I, just thought of an idea where I could include other people and, grow a community. And if people want to, improve their morning routine, it helps me too. It forces me to get up, and it's nice to say hello to people in the morning. Yeah, absolutely. So gets me up, and I kind of choose quotes from everywhere. It might be from something I've read, or it might be from a website. And so, yeah, that's basically, I don't read my goals, but I always, discuss a quote, what it means to me. And if people want to add something, they can add to the discussion, because it's really not about me. It's really about the people. It's just me, without them, it'd just be me doing my morning routine. But if people can get something out of it and, add a little positivity to their morning, and, improve their morning routine, it's, like I said, it's really about them. I don't want them to just come in and hear me talking to myself about what I think it means. It's very nice to have that interaction, get to know new people and see their perspective on it. And so it's always.
So for those, I know you mentioned it before, but can you spell out for those who are listening how to find you online? Like what's your website that connects pretty much everything?
Yep. That's my book series website, inspiringleaderscollective.com. So inspiringleaderscollective.com.
I didn't know you were going to have a spelling test today, did you?
Yeah, I know. Inspiringleaderscollective.com. So
awesome. So we have about 3 minutes left. Is there anything you would like to add?
I'll just add something, because as I am doing these things and doing the morning routine, I do come up with tips to try and help people as well, because we cover topics like goal setting and things like that. It's great because it helps me think of ideas that I can put on YouTube. So you can go to my YouTube and find goal setting videos and things like that. If you want to learn about goal setting, I really liked what Justin Goodbread, your last guest on. He had some great tips for if you have a business mindset, how you can set goals. I have a different method on goal setting, but it's more personal based, and it doesn't drive down as deep. I think it's a little simpler for people if they just want to figure out how to improve their lives themselves. But so like I said, you can check out his, or you can check out my YouTube, find a goal setting video there. And I go into a few different methods on how to improve your goals. So that's definitely longer than.
Yeah, no, there's actually quite a few who talk about like goal setting and personal improvement that I've interviewed on the Journey as Real. There's actually quite a few on there if you kind of search.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
so
like inspiring others to be their best self is kind of like an almost general theme through them. And so, that's what I like to do, is to let people see, what someone has been through and the journey that they've walked and where they are now. And that kind of helps to inspire others in a different way.
Okay. And I'll just give a quick tip. Something else that I've come up with is if people want to build confidence in what they're doing, then I called it putting in the reps. So it's REP. So you have your reflection, which is, it could be a journal. It's great to have a journal to kind of, learn yourself more, or learn about yourself more and figure out where you're at, and really, put your thoughts out on paper. It really helps to have a journal. But also reflection could be someone to talk to, whether that's a friend, a therapist. It's always good to talk to somebody about stuff that's going on in your life, and you learn more about yourself that way. And then E is education. So picking up a book on a specific topic obviously is a great way to learn. But if you're not, implementing those tools, that P is practice. Mm-hmm. So putting what you learn and what you've learned about yourself and what you need to improve on into practice. And that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck.
I love that you're practicing what you preach, and you're showing people through the book, you're giving them information, through the blog, you're saying, hey, here are some neat tips and tricks. But specifically through the Facebook page, you're putting into practice daily and showing them, you walk the walk. You don't just talk the talk. And so I appreciate
try my best.
I appreciate you coming on today, Jacob, and sharing, your unique passion. And I love that you're connecting people to these others that can help them. And you're kind of giving them direction and guidance, as opposed to saying, here's a truckload of information, take it and run with it.
Right. And I don't try to, give people the impression that I'm perfect. I try to be as transparent as possible. I'm a constant work in progress. We all have different journeys that we take, and what really gets us, started on this sort of path. But, I think knowledge is what comes first. A lot of people, need that knowledge base and don't know exactly where to find it because there's so much noise. But there's, just so many great resources to learn from. So yeah, just like I said, try to be as transparent as possible. And if you find me on Facebook, we can really get to know one another. And I really like meeting new people through that and building, a little audience through there as well.
Awesome. Well, like I said, thank you for coming on today and sharing your heart and your passion. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, CJ. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
For those looking for Jacob Craig, so I got it correct this time around. Those looking for Jacob Craig, you can find him online at inspiringleaderscollective.com. That's inspiringleaderscollective.com, and check him out. You can follow his different plans and kind of check out and see what he's got for you. Lots of good nuggets. I'm CJ Peterson of cjpetersonwrites.com. Thank you for watching The Journey is Real. We talk to real people with real passions who share a real portion of their hearts. Until next time.